Good evening, everyone. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares, and this is State of Mentell Radio. This is a new venture for the State of Mentell, in that we are on our own network. We are doing our own shows under the State of Mentell. And like every child who has to grow up and, walk on his own, or every baby bird that has to leave the nest and fly and spread its wings. We had to do the same thing for the State of Mentell because we're growing and we want our brand to be seen. I love Abundance Child for giving us the time, the opportunity to be exposed to you all through this medium, because prior to that we were using the Ustream to broadcast our shows, and the sister was gracious enough, upon our meeting, to ask me to come over and host the State of Mentell Mondays, and it started to blossom. And we picked up some listeners and whatnot, but I said it would come a time, and she knew, she told me to, it would come a time where, we would go on our own, because the message is, it's growing, and it's by leaps and bounds, and we're reaching more people. Just the other day, I had a young brother inbox me in Facebook, and he's a college student. I believe the brother's name is Andre. I don't want to mess his name up. It'll come to me. He inboxed me, and he told me that he said that he is attending college in Albany State University in Georgia, and he said that he was attending to become a paralegal originally, but upon hearing State of Mentell Mondays and, me going on about how black men and black women always settle for being, the flunkies and being the assistants to people, and, like we won't go to school to be the doctors, we'll go to school to be the medical technicians. We won't go to school to be the lawyers, we'll go to school to be the paralegals. We won't go to school to be the dental the dentist, we want to go and be the dental assistants. So upon the brother hearing the show, he said, I'm no longer going to go and take up and become a paralegal. He said, I'm going to go and become a lawyer. And he said the sister, young lady that he who also listens to the broadcast, she was taking up dental technician. She's going to go and be a dentist. That was beautiful to me. I was touched, because I know that, it makes what I do worthwhile, and that is, why I do this is to expand the intelligence of my people and to bring them together and raise the intelligence level and make our people stand strong on their own, like we're supposed to. We're not supposed to be serving anyone but our own selves and for our own greater good. So I was happy to hear that, and I hope that my words and what I'm doing in this broadcast, in these future broadcasts, inspire more of my people to stand up and take the initiative to become great, because the only one that stands in the way of ourselves is ourselves. The only ones who stand in the way of us is us, I should say. So, State of Mentell Radio. Tonight's topic is the Black Womental Bing. All right? Now, we in the State of Mentell probably were the first people to use that terminology, that saying that men was short for mental beings and women was short for womental beings. And in our class, we taught that, that we were brought here to receive higher intelligence and to be caretakers to the earth. And by way of the Most High, the true and living God, Amun's intelligence, move things forward on this planet, and to govern this planet in the name of the true and living God, Amun. We are extensions of that supreme power. We are a part of that supreme power. We are a part of the true and living God as thinkers. That's how it was meant to be. We were not meant to be in submission to anyone. Not the black woman, not the black man. You were meant to rule together, side by side. However, certain things happen, and we kind of fell off course. Well, we didn't we fell off course, and we fell right into the circles of ignorance and madness. And we took on the low level or the submental thinking of our oppressors, the people we were amongst, the people we were mixing our seed with that we weren't supposed to. And it lowered our intelligence to what you see today. What you see today is broken people, people who are broken mentally, people who want to believe in something so bad, who want to accept lies rather than think, rather than to expand their intelligence, find out who they truly are. They do not want to expand or make that mental connection with God, because I said that God's true people are not the believers. They are the thinkers, not the believers. The believers are followers of men. The thinkers are followers of God, the true and living God. Who is God? God is the higher self. You are a part of that higher supreme force. God is a force of beings. You are a part of that force of supreme beings. You are not in submission. You're supposed to be in mission with that supreme force. So as we speak about the black woman, because not enough attention is given to the mental upliftment of the black woman, and it's needed in this time, because you look at black women. Look at what's defining black women today. Look who's being put out front to define the mindset of black women today. Mary J. Blige, Beyonce, not Little Kim anymore. This is the new one. Nicki Minaj. I said her. Rihanna. Women, black women, have been hijacked and replaced with females. They have had their minds altered. And if you notice, now you can't really tell the difference mentally from a Rihanna to a Beyonce to a Katy Perry to a who else is it? I can't think of any of the white pop singers. They all have this female childlike pseudo intelligent vibe about them. It's just real what's the word I want to use? It's very bouncy, very airheaded like, very non responsive, very unintelligent, very shallow. That's the word I wanted. Shallow. That's the mentality of women today. That is the mentality that is being passed around and handed off to women today, converting the women into females. Females who are, when we describe females, those who are anatomically correct, but not mentally correct. Okay? Anatomically correct, but not mentally correct. This has been pushed heavily on the black woman, who already came encoded with her own mental transcript, separate from everyone else. What do I mean by that? I mean that black women are already encoded with a certain way of thinking. What is that way of thinking? A certain personality, a certain thing that defines the black woman. Strong, intelligent, regal, royal. All right? That's what I think of when I think about black women, not females, but black women. Even the white man sees the black woman that way and is intimidated. Strong, intelligent, regal, royal. Has been replaced with whorish, ignorant, sloppy, and peonish. That's not who the black woman is mentally. Her intelligence has been subdued and subjugated and made to fit into a mold with other women. I said before that other women, and this is not even a racist comment. People might think this is racist, but I don't really care, that other women are nondescript mentally. What I mean by that is that other women have no mental encoding. They don't have a natural mental encoding. They don't have a natural personality. That's why men can introduce a certain idea of a woman into society, and these women, be it the white woman, the Asian woman, the East Indian woman, because they all got the same hair, they all look alike, it's the same prototype. He can introduce a mentality about women into the atmosphere, into this environment, and if you notice, they'll all go along with it. Be it fashion, be it the way they do their hair, be it the way they think, and whatnot. He might use other women to do it, the powers to be, the controllers. He'll use other women to do it, but he can introduce an idea, an artificial form of intelligence or personality into this atmosphere, and all of those women that I mentioned, the white woman, the East Indian woman, the Asian woman, they will accept it. They will accept it. And they will run with it. However, it doesn't really fit the black woman. It doesn't. Her hair doesn't fit the mold. Her attitude doesn't fit the mold. Her way of thinking doesn't fit the mold. So what you have to do is alter that. You have to alter her way of thinking. You have to strip away the strong, intelligent, regal, and royal encoding in her thought process and create an artificial being like the rest of these women. And has it not worked? What is the outcome? Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, all these women, Beyonce, these are the women, or should I say the females, that are influencing the younger generation of women today. They don't understand strong, intelligent, regal, and royal. They understand the artificial implant, which is whorish, ignorant, sloppy, and peonish. When I say peonish, I mean like a peon, low level, slug, bottom feeder, one who dwells on the submental. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. This is looked upon as being this is being championed as being progressive amongst the women. I remember I was watching something, and Little Kim, she this was a long time ago. I'll never forget this. I was watching a program, and Joan Rivers was talking to Little Kim, and she called Little Kim a hoe, right? And Little Kim, the black woman, came out of Little Kim for a second, and she was like, oh, like, you disrespect me. And she was like, oh, you know, something along the lines of, you know, you say that and you call yourself a bitch and this, that, and the third and blah, 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 so what's the big deal, you know, whatever, you know. But that side of it, that was a reality check to her. The things that you advocate in this artificial mindset, this appearance you put forth of yourself, is what people are seeing and what they're treating you or reacting to you when they come in contact with you. They don't see strong, intelligent, regal, and royal anymore. They don't see that. That's not connecting with them. In the past, black women had, you had the Queen Nefertiti's, and you had the Queen T's, Queen Nzingas, and things of that nature. You know, women of the past, up into Harriet Tubman and things, you had black women who were making strides and being seen, and they knew how to be strong, intelligent, regal, and royal without being masculine. The black woman was the only one who captured that art within herself. I'll prove it to you. Felicia Rashad, well-balanced woman. Strong, intelligent, regal, and royal. Perfect example. Right? She was so perfect and strong, intelligent, regal, and royal that the guy she was married to, Ahmad Rashad, he ran off and got himself a white woman, Casey Johnson. The guy, Woody Johnson, the guy who owns Johnson & Johnson's, the pharmaceutical company, whatever that is, the Johnson & Johnson's. But anyway, he ran off and got himself a white woman because that woman was too strong, intelligent, regal, and royal. And the majority of men today, they want the artificial woman. That's why they really go for the white woman, the Asian woman, the East Indian woman. They want the artificial woman. They want the woman with no mental transcript, a woman who has no mental encoding in her head, a woman who is not naturally intelligent, a woman that they can mold and shape like how this society has shaped and molded and put out the image of women. And this is what our people go for. This is what the black man goes, the average black man goes for now. So when he says things like, the woman, you too strong, you do this, you do that, what he's really saying is he wants a woman that he can shape in his image. He wants a humanoid or an android type of woman. This is your white woman. This is your Asian woman. This is your East Indian woman. They're all the same, except for different, shades and tones and whatnot, but they're basically all the same. You can see all of them together, and if you notice, they'll get along with each other. The women will get along, the men will get along with each other pretty much. But when you enter the scene, it's something totally different. Your hair is not right. Your skin is not right. Your attitude, your mentality, you don't even have to say anything. You're a strong presence. They feel it. They feel it. A lot of white men, when they were doing the, they would go out and get prostitutes and things like that. A lot of white men, they would go out and get black women as dominatrix, right? Why? Because strong, intelligent, regal, and royal. They want to be talked down to. They want a strong woman over them. That's the majority of them why they run out and get black women. They want someone over them, like children. It's real. That's what those people who see the remnant of women left, the remnant of black women on the left, who carry that mental encoding in them from the time of, forever. It doesn't even have a time frame where black women stood next to black men, shoulder to shoulder, because there is no balancement, in any civilization. There has to be some sort of balancement. There can't be just a man. There has to be a woman standing right next to him. So that was already encoded in our people, to be leaders and rulers, to lead the world. When you see a sassy white woman, she's doing nothing but copying a black woman. You know that. You see a sassy, all this sassiness and the things like the strong mentality, what they would call a bitch. They're copying, given a negative term, they're copying black women, the strong, assertive, intelligent, regal, royal women. What the black woman is actually copying, the whorish, ignorant, sloppy, peonic type woman, would be the other women. And it's not to insult anybody, but this is the image that the white man and the rest of these other men put on the women, and the women followed it. Proof positive. Madonna and all these other people, they sell sex and things like that, and they push sex and, and they, to hide the fact that there is no strength there is no talent there is no real intelligence there, so they have to push sex, because that's what the men and the society, the powers that be, designed for the women to follow. It's an artificial implant that you can implant mentally in the heads of women who have no defined mental state. There's no mental transcript there. It's blank. Followers, androids, people who sit and watch and mimic. They mimic you, black woman. They mimic you. Everything you do. They take everything from your mental and they copy everything. Just watch. And when they hand back everything, when they hand it back to you, when they hand you back in the society, they hand back little Kim, because they don't want any more strong, intelligent women like that. They don't want that. They want one blank woman. They want to erase that mental state in the black woman. They want to erase all of that and make you tolerable. I believe I used the word, able to be tolerated. They want you to be nice and smoothed out. They want you to fit in. And it started, what? With your hair. Your hair wasn't right. So therefore, that had to be altered. Your complexion was too dark, so that had to be altered. You look at the magazines. Beyonce and all these people get whiter and whiter looking, because you have to be altered to fit in to their world. You can't come being strong, intelligent, regal, and royal. That's not what they want. They want whorish, ignorant, sloppy, and peonic, and they want you to be proud of that. That is what they push as being progressive. See, but it's not. It's easy to push on them, on their women, on the East Indian, on the Asian. You see Lucy Liu and all these other women out here, Salma Hayek, and whatever East Indian actors they use. It's easy to push that mentality. Those are the women who get the shampoo ads. Those are the women who get the jewelry ads and things like that. Those women get that. But you don't get that because you have to go through an attitude adjustment first. You have to go through a mental adjustment in order to receive the riches of this society. You have to fit in. You have to take out your brain and act like one of them. 202, you on the air. 202?
Yes, hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, hello. You're on the line.
Okay. You had took the words right out of my mouth that I was about to say. People don't notice because they try to make it seem like it's a trend that all of these singers, R&B singers, even Queen Latifah, because back then Queen Latifah did have substance. Every single one of them have blonde hair. Beyonce, Carrie Hilson, all of these R&B singers have blonde hair. And it's not only trying to water us down, it's also a form of self-hate. So they try to use this as to weaken us. It's a quote a while back from Malcolm X, and it refers to coffee. And it says, if the coffee is too black, they will add cream to weaken it, to the point that you will forget that coffee was even in that cup. So they do certain things to, kind of weaken us.
Mm-hmm.
And and you're also right about the whorish agenda that they're using on us. And it's just it's crazy how they're doing it. And then it's to the point that women are even calling themselves bitches. We're not queens anymore. We're bitches. We're bad bitches. You know what I'm saying? And it's just insane to me how, if somebody would just say, "Oh, you bitch," and it's offensive. But if you say, "I'm a bad bitch," "Oh, you damn right, I'm a bad bitch." I mean, it's a conditioning process, and it's been going on for periods and periods of years. And you're also right about Beyonce. If you saw the L'Oreal ad a while back, they made her look damn near white. If you put her next to a white woman, you couldn't see a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And it's continuing on now.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty much putting us on the back burner because they know that we're strong and we're intelligent. We've always, not just women, men, us as a unity is a force. We're strong together, but they do things to keep us apart. So then they come out with the chauvinistic agenda, the independent agenda. Oh, I don't need you. I don't need this man, or I don't need that. All I have is me. Then they come out with other agendas like these gay agendas. I hope I'm not getting off subject, but it's kind of in the subject because us being together as one is a threat to them. So us being strong is a total threat to them. Any chance that they can get, they would do it. And our minds are so in a lower frequency anyway. It's like a vulnerable dog. If there's a dog on the side of the road, it don't matter what you feed it, it's going to eat it eventually. Mm-hmm. And that's how some black people are. We're vulnerable to the things that they're doing to us.
Well, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something. You're absolutely right. Let me show you something. Now, you said you'll see like Beyonce and all these people, and they singing about "I don't need you," sucks to be you. Isn't that a terminology white girls say? It really sucks to be you. Told you.
Yeah.
That artificial mind frame. White women say that white girls say it sucks to be you. Beyonce made a song about that. Why? Because she wants black women to start using phrases like that and to have that mentality. I don't need a man no more. But meanwhile, every time you turn around, if you notice, you're always seeing these white movies that come out with the white woman and the white man together, romantic comedy, or it's a romantic sex guy, Channing Tatum or whatever, Tatum Channing or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Young white love, and they together, and and they sticking with
the
each
Notebook
other.
type crap. I understand.
But then you turn around and you see what's her face, what's this new movie with the new girl they got, the new black girl, and Queen Latifah's in there, Dolly Parton. She's with the white boy.
Keke Palmer.
Keke Palmer. So they're gonna use her. They're gonna use her. She gonna go the Halle Berry route. You understand? So that's that artificial implant. The new black woman or the new black female don't need a black man. She could be with everybody or anybody, But they don't tell a white woman that. She could be with everybody. The black woman could be with everybody. This is the new implant. So it was a time the black woman, it was just natural in her to be with a black man. She would go with a black man. So now you have the black women who are advocating this. Why should I have to wait for a black man? Why should I have to wait for what I want to, in this society and wait on a black man? I mean, that's not realistic. I'm going to just love whoever I want and be with whoever I want to.
Exactly. Exactly.
However, what they don't understand, because it's funny because I actually experienced this kind of conversation with a sister I went out with last weekend, and she did that verbatim. I mean, and it was so funny because I hear this being pushed in the so-called black progressive women of, that whole artificial implant of intelligence and that way of thinking is being implanted in them, and they're being turned into that bottom level, or we are the world bottomed out. We're no different from each other, but that's only an illusion that the black women got. See, that's the illusion that the black women got, because we actually went to a place and they served alcohol there, and I didn't drink anything, but it was a white bar, and she went about, looking at, trying to soak up the atmosphere and, start talking to all the white people and commenting on the white people. Just like she was just so overjoyed to be around and be there. That's the mentality. They just so overjoyed to the point where even Chris Rock said, the problem with our people is you love the white man too much. And this is not even it's not, and beyond just race, it's a pride thing. It's a self-respect thing. Our people love that the women will pull out their own. It's like they will pull out their own minds, their own brains, just to fit in to this artificial way of thinking, just to be.
And it's funny that they do that, because in the end, they want us gone. They want our race completely wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we play by their rules, it's like a chess game to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how you have the chess pieces, one chess pieces, or one side of the chess board, you have white. The other side, you have black. The objective is to get, what is the objective? To get the king or the queen? I forgot the objective of chess. But either way, the pieces are two different colors, black and white. The objective is the game is to get the person, but you have to stay one head a step of the other person. It's a strategy game. So it's just like that. Yeah, nigga, I got you now. All you have to do is slip one time, and you're wiped out. I got you. Game over.
Well, the black woman was the last. She was the last holdout, and this this new way, this so-called progressive way of artificial thought, because she, like I said, she already came with her own. Mental implant. She already came with her own mental transcript. It was already naturally encoded in them. Like I said, a black woman when you see one. Like I said, you can tell. Like I said, the quintessential ultimate black women, Queen Felicia Rashad, Patti LaBelle. Who else? I'm just naming actresses. My mother, my grandmother. You know, the quintessential strong black women who knew how to be strong, intelligent, regal. They used the acronym of God as strength, wisdom, and beauty, when it actually should be describing a woman. The Greeks used that acronym to describe men because they were homosexuals. But that acronym was actually supposed to be describing women. Strength, wisdom, and beauty. Gumar, Oz, and Debar. I mean, that is the acronym for God. Now, it's funny that, in this day and time, you see women like that, they're pushed into the background. You see all these black women who were once out in the front, like Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, Felicia Rashad, things like that, who married black men, had black families with strong images, and you seeing them being pushed to the back, and you start to see different types of women coming out, like females coming out, like because they redesigning the black woman. That's what's going on. They're redesigning her and putting out just the way they did. They call it an attitude adjustment or a mental adjustment. How they did the actor, what's his name, Isaiah Washington, after they say he made the comment about the homosexual. He needed an attitude adjustment. He needed a mental adjustment. They actually sent him somewhere to receive counseling. That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
To artificially implant a certain way of thinking. Because if you don't think that way, if you don't act that way, if the black woman doesn't say, have you heard this? If the black women don't say on TV, oh, I love everybody, I'll date everybody, because they'll ask certain black women, well, do you prefer just black men and things? Oh, no, I love everybody, I'll date black, white, I don't mind. That's the word that they have to use in order to be in this society. But they never ask the white woman that. They ask the black woman to see if the brainwashing or the mental adjustment has taken. You understand? Because they implant that mental adjustment in the black woman. Oprah Winfrey said 25 years ago, she came to ABC or one of the networks in Chicago before she got on. She said she came with her afro and a natural. They told her, "Now get that off your head." They sent her to the place and got her hair permed, her hair fell out and things like that. So that was all mental adjustment. Physically damaging somebody, physically hurting someone. When the black woman perms her hair and burns her hair out, gets holes in her scalp.
That's a prime example that I was going to say. I know a woman who has the same haircut as mine, and my haircut is extremely low. She would, she had the exact same haircut, but she would dye her hair different colors. She would dye it blonde. Majority, that was her hair color. She would dye it blonde, and she told me one day, she said, you should dye your hair. Black is dead. You should dye your hair. And I said, you're right, black is dead. That comment went over her head because obviously she didn't know what I meant. But within a month's time, her hair started falling out. Things like that happen. You are trying, it seems, it's like they're doing it, but they're doing it, it's just without a reaction. They're just doing it. They don't know why. It's like a child conditioning a child. If you have an abusive boyfriend or wife has an abusive husband, and this man or this little boy is growing up watching that, over the years, eventually he's going to hit his woman. He was never taught anything different. So as long as we watch the things that's going on and nobody's telling us the truth of what's really going on, they're going to react just like that with no questions. They're just going to react. They're just going to lash out to what's going on. And for your comment earlier about Nicki Minaj, Aries, her, the breakdown of that, she calls herself a Barbie. When we were little kids growing up, what was a Barbie? You get what I'm saying? A Barbie didn't have a pulse. A Barbie was pretty much like an empty vessel. We had to dress the Barbie. We had to do the Barbie's hair. We had to put the Barbie shoes on. It couldn't do it itself.
Exactly.
So these females out here are just like Barbies. They're empty vessels. And you see somebody else her grooming you. She's pretty much telling you what to do. She's pretty much dressing you. She's pretty much telling you what kind of shoes to wear and what kind of clothes to put on. And now you see 13, 14-year-old girls with blonde wigs, green wigs, yellow wigs.
Well, they sent her out there. You know, remember what she said in her song? She said when the black women start wearing their hair natural, she said, "Oh, you nappy." The beast sent her out there to say, "Oh, you nappy headed hoes need a terminator."
My kitchen good. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was supposed to make you ashamed of being who you are. She was sent to do that. She was sent to do that. She was sent to supplant your true mental nature, because you're starting to come back. A lot of our women are starting to come back in tune with who they are, that strong, intelligent, regal, and royal mindset. And they have to kill that, because once that happens, once that takes place, that's the rise of a new people. That's the rise of a people who have been asleep. You understand? Who coming awake and coming alive again. That's the rise of those kings and queens and gods and goddesses that you talked about in reality. See, because a lot of our people talked about that, but it don't match up when you still perming your hair and you ashamed of who you are. You perming your hair trying to act like somebody else. You adopting the mentality of other people, the artificial intelligence of other people, when you're no longer looking to be who you are, when you're not standing up for what you know is already encoded in you. And this is not even something that's learned in society, something that's encoded in you to tell you that, you know what, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be a part of this. I'm not supposed to be taking part in this. You're not following that. You're following what this society has artificially implanted to supplant or move out your true intelligence or your intellectual connection with the greater. You understand? So our people left that mindset. And like I said, when we say things like submental or subconscious, what we're actually saying is that we are vibrating on a lower mental frequency. You know?
Yeah.
That's how we receive these thoughts. That's how we are conned into taking out our brains, taking out our minds and whatnot. This is how black women are sitting around here listening. It was a time where black women made soulful music and things like that. Now y'all turning around listening to Adele, and y'all looking to white women for soul music now. You looking for white women to give you messages, because all you got to look to is Beyonce now. You know, all you got to look to is Rihanna now.
People don't notice that they try to make white music positive.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And then every time you turn around, any black artist is either I'm shooting somebody, I'm taking somebody's man, or I'm having sex with somebody for money, or I want some dude to make it rain on me on the club, or I want some dude to pay my bills. It's all negative. And we end up soaking that up. You know, I speak to women, and, you know, these women talking about I want a thug, and, you know, F this dude, F that dude, I want a thug. So it's like, what's wrong with this picture? You rather have a man to disrespect you or not take care of you, a man that can't provide for you because he's a felon, than to have a positive man to be. I mean, even if a female had children and they talking about they want a thug, there's not even a positive role model to their children. You know, and then you have 10, 11-year-old girls. You know, I was sitting outside one day, and these girls, they were probably younger than 14. They had their shirts cut in the back, slits all on the sides of their shirts, these little poom-poom shorts, these little tiny itty-bitty shorts, and heels, and they're just going to the BP gas station.
Yeah, well, that's promoted as being progressive. That's what happens when you cut the intelligence, or you cut that mental state out of the black woman, because now she can't influence other young girls to grow up into black women, so they're left like a pack of wild dogs that's running into femalehood, not womanhood, but femalehood. You understand? And they letting, you know, and everything is going wrong in that world. Because, like I said, this is what's promoted as progressive. This is what they see, and this is the society of women that they want to raise up. Because if you can get women to do things like this, if you can control women to be at a low state, if you get the man to look at them like they nothing but whores and sluts and things like that, you know, and it's not even just sex it's beyond sex, because it was a time, and I don't want to come off like this is a religious thing, or I'm getting, I'm approved about anything. It's just that even our sexual encounters have been lowered, because it was a time where adults did adult things and whatnot, and it was still a respect. Now it's misogynistic, trashy, and then we're adopting the artificial intelligence, the mentality of the beast. Here it is, R. Kelly. Here it is, R. Kelly. He peeing on girls, stuff that we knew who would do stuff like that. We knew whose MO is that, peeing on girls, young underage girls, urinating on them. We know who MO is that. But what did you do? You had black men thinking that was funny. You understand? You have black women sticking up and still buying his music. A degenerate. You understand that? Because that's what happens when you take the mental state of the woman out, that encoded state of what's right and what's logical, what's just doesn't make sense, and you implant, you open the door for every and anything to come in, all the filth to come in, and everything is right now. So there's no more boundaries. There's no thing where we say, we standing up over this. We're not in this garbage with everybody else. You understand? Because that's the thing with the black woman. She wants to, or the black female, I should say. She wants to stand in the garbage can with everybody else, with all the rest of the other nations. She wants to stand in the garbage can and because she considers the garbage can to be progressive. You understand? Yeah. She wants to stand in the garbage. She don't want to stand up over the garbage. She don't want to stand above the garbage. You understand? She was like, because the sister was. Well, I don't even call her sister no more. Whatever she is. She was saying things. She was talking like, just talking about cool. This song is just so cool, and just acting like, and just all in,
Valley, just acting real Valley like.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is what
another one bites. That's pretty much.
Yeah, this is what this is coming to. You know,
and that's what it is, because they know deep down inside in corporate ladder who's going to make it first.
Well, no. Well, a black woman, like, she ain't gonna make it first anyway. But like I said, they gonna go first, and then, like I said, they do that just to cast the whole. They cast the whole us against the black man against the black woman. That's all that's done to create that dynamic. But
but
we're gonna play
what I meant by that. I mean, I don't hope you took that wrong, but what I meant by that is, like, they know that they feel like white people is to the point that they try to make it seem like that the white man is God. The white man is on top of everything. So if I act like this or dress like this, maybe I can get on top too. But it's like you trying to get on top when they kicking your ass to the corner. Well, it's not going to happen. And in the end of the day, when somebody try to give you a reality check, you're going to be offended.
Well, the thing is, to a lot of our people, the white man is God. Okay, and that's the truth. I don't care. Like I told you before, I don't care if you a black revolutionary, Pan-Africanist. A lot of our people, they believe the white man still is God. They look to him for authority. They look to him for everything, in their life, And they might say they don't. They might say they hate him and whatnot, call him the devil. But like I said, in reality, your devil is actually your God. We're gonna play this cut from Blue 6, and we'll be right back.
Take too long, they'll
The black man wants a Stepford wife. This is what the black man is actually looking for. He's been conned into wanting a Stepford wife. He knows that 9 times out of 10 he's not going to get that with the black woman. All right? He wants a Stepford wife. How many of you remember that movie, The Stepford Wives? All right? And that movie, Stepford Wives, it was dealing with a group of men who basically created android-type women, right, who had basically no intelligence, no personality, no anything, no strength, just basically lived to be manipulated mentally and serve their husband. They were like computers or androids. They could do everything, from sex to cooking to cleaning, everything that the men wanted, and that's what they were satisfied with, right? This is what they wanted. Stepford wives. This is what the black man wants. Well, every time he goes out and gets a white woman, he wants a Stepford wife. When he goes out and gets an Asian woman, East Indian, he wants a Stepford wife. He doesn't want. The black man has been trained to think that in this society, a woman who is unintelligent, who basically serves the man and does what, everything, no matter how stupid the man's idea is, that's the type of woman that he's being trained to want in this society. Stepford wife. Easy to manipulate. He's being told that the black woman doesn't fit that criteria. She's wild and she's loud and she this and she that, right? She doesn't fit the criteria. So they want, they want to sit up and if you ever hear the black man describing the type of woman he wants, docile, basically does what he says and things like that, that's not a real woman. That's not real. That is not real in any stretch of the imagination. Because if you have intelligence within you, if the woman was given intelligence, then obviously it was supposed to be used for something. She was supposed to be the counterpart to you and you the counterpart to her. You are supposed to work in unison together. That's like cutting out half your brain. Makes no sense, does it? But now, fast forward, this is what the white man promoted and the black man want. But you notice, you look at the perfect white family and couples and whatnot. Now his woman is thinking. Now they working together. Now they getting together. You understand that? They're being their own natural white selves. They're getting together, their own hair. They raising their children that way, this way, whatever. You understand that? They're staying together. He's looking for an intelligent woman now. Something that you did, that you wanted at one time. Something that you demanded at one time. The black man originally wanted his woman to be intelligent. Because he would teach his woman. Remember, or he would look to his mother as the first teacher. You got the Israelites and these guys out here that saying, they down on the black woman and things like that. And I told you it was funny, but that's an implant in those guys' heads. How can you be down on a woman and you came out of a woman? How can you be down on a woman when, if it wasn't for a woman, you wouldn't have life? If she didn't feed you for 9 months, if she didn't raise you, if she didn't carry you for the rest, carry you, you wouldn't even be here. If the woman shuts down and doesn't have any more children, that's it. There's no more nations. So who has the power? You can force her down and rape her and make her and have sex with her and make her have your baby, but she don't still have to carry it all the way to term. Now, do she? She can abort the baby herself and kill the baby, kill that whole nation. Right? That's true. That's real. Who's really in control and who's in charge? Who does the real thinking? Was Barack Obama really elected for himself, or was that a way to put Michelle Obama in a certain place? To send in the slaves? Let me introduce something to you. Michelle Obama, in this society, this country is referred to as she. woman, she. Everything in a society that's considered great is referred to as she, woman. Not man, but woman. So if the woman who is referred to as the first lady, if she's referred to as the first lady, you have a black woman who at one point in time sat in the seat of power in Egypt and greater societies, now sits as a first lady, even though, yeah, he was set up, and we know that's a farce, but it's not about what really goes on behind the scene. It's the illusion that it puts in the minds of the people, the children. They don't know, that this person might be having strings pulled, but the illusion, the appearance of power in this black woman, that does something in the minds. It should be doing something in the minds of little black girls. I mean, it can have an adverse effect to where it can actually benefit, because now they're seeing somebody who's up on a pedestal being referred to as a first lady who looks like them, right? That triggers something in the black woman's mind. Why is the black woman depressed? Because we're making a CD that's coming out soon called the Great Depression of the Modern Day Black Woman. And I said in the mental transcript that the black woman is already encoded with a certain way of thinking, that which is regal, royal, intelligent, strong, all of those things. It's already a trademark in the black woman. It's not nothing I'm making up. It's not because I'm trying to pat the black woman on the back or kiss up. This is the actual mindset of the black woman. It's already encoded in her to be royalty. It's already encoded in her. So what happens when you're in a society where that dynamic of who you are doesn't fit? What happens when they turn out black females? They turn out females, just period, white, black, whatever, and you're still a woman. You're still a real woman. You can't really transform yourself. You can't really, what's the word I want to say? You can't really convert yourself over into that mindset. What happens? What happens when you can't convert yourself over into the mindset of a female? When you're a real woman, you become depressed. You feel compressed. You feel pushed down. What does the black woman do to break her depression? She goes shopping, has sex, all types of things to try to escape the depression. Notice all of these acts I named, spending money, trying to buy things, sex, pleasures that women, real women seek out, or women was seeking out in the ancient world, royal things, spending money, opulence, to break that depression or that compression of her way of thinking in a society that is breeding females. That's real. That's why she is depressed. She can't be who she wants to be. It's already encoded in her to be a certain way. She is not to be converted. The black woman cannot be converted. You ever see when the black woman, it's like trying to fit, you trying to fit your wide feet into narrow shoes. That's the depression state. That's when depression takes place. It is a mental pain. You black women are trying to fit into black female artificial intelligence, black female artificial ways of thinking, or female ways of thinking that's tried on black female or tried on black women to convert them into females, meaning those who are anatomically correct but not mentally correct. No women in this society, females. That is how you alter the black mental being. You understand? Because when we said that you women are nothing but mental beings with wombs, that's a fact. You give birth to mental beings, high mental beings. That's what you came here for. That's one of the reasons you came here for, and to bring higher intelligence onto the planet in a advanced state. But then you look and you see, as soon as you got in contact with the artificial ones, or those people, those beings, the human, you start to see the downfall of our people. You saw it. Ever since we started mixing, we accepted the mentality, the philosophy, the ideas, the ideology, and whatnot, we started to fall. We started thinking everything that we did, that, we got infected with a virus, a mental virus, especially the black woman. Because you trying to shake the whole idea of Beyonce and this images and Mary J and all these images they put out where they trying to be like the white woman and everybody else. You trying to shake that image, but then you don't really have an image that's representing you. So it's up to you to create that. It's up to you to bring back the strong black womental being. Because they're trying to kill that in the society. They're trying to take your brain out. They're working on you. The white woman and all the rest of the women, like I said, they are like Stepford wives. They're like androids. It's easy to push anything into their heads because they come with no kind of mental transcript. I told you before, the human race is an artificial creation. So what do humans do like any other being or any other being that has no real intelligence? They mimic. They copy. Does not everybody copy the black man, even at his worst? You got white men, all these white kids walking around with their pants hanging down, trying to speak slang and all this other stuff. When you see the white women and all them with attitude and trying to act like this, that, and the third, they copying you black women. So even at your worst state, I mean, you trying to copy them and they trying to push their mentality onto you to make it attractive. They're trying to copy your true identity. They're trying to take your strength. They're trying to take your intelligence. They're trying to take your strength, wisdom, and beauty. They're trying to take it from you. They've been doing it, like I said, ever since they could make films. Ever since they started telling lies about the Egyptian goddesses and things being white and East Indian, all these things, they've been trying to take down your image and put theirs up in your place. They've been trying to implant that. Ever since. These are fine grooves that are in your brain already. These things are already in your brain. There's no way you can convert the black woman into a female. They trying. You ever look at Mary J. Blige? When you ever notice when she's trying to adopt this new mentality that's supposed to be so progressive, it don't even look right on her. She looks uneasy. You ever notice that? That just don't even look right on her because she's implanted with that. You already got who you are embedded in you. You came here with a certain way of thinking. It's embedded in you. You cannot change it. You can't. Y'all try. You try to fit in, but you can't change it. So what do? They push you with the white man. So eventually in one generation you'll have children who are mixed race or with somebody else, and they can work on those children to turn them into females. And this is real. This is not nothing I'm coming up. This is real. This is real. They are pushing you with the white man to create or bring about children that will bear that mentality, that will bear that way of thinking, that will be those artificial beings. Wherever image they put out, they can indoctrinate into their head because there's nothing but emptiness there. They've taken out your way of thinking. They just filtered it out. They filtered it out. Who knows? Maybe they're doing something, they might be doing something even in the hospitals. Who knows? I heard Jewel Pookrum one time. She spoke about how, just for a second, she's talking about Einstein, right? How he passed away and how people took certain scientists, doctors, I forget what she said, but she said they took pieces of his brain and dissected it and kept pieces of his brain. Right? These white scientists or wherever they were, they were taking pieces of his brain. Who knows? They might have ate it. They might have ingested it. They do stuff like that. But the whole point of that is that it was pointless because we don't generate thoughts in our head. We are implanted with thoughts, and once that mental force field goes away, which you call a mind, then the thoughts go away as well. The brain means nothing anymore. It's as useless as an arm or a leg or a heart that doesn't have any life in it. That brain has no life in it. There is no energy. There is no electrical charge to it. So all the ideas that these people are sent, they're sent through them, not from them. and the human is no different because, like I said, the humans, like I said, they're artificial intelligence. They're artificial creation. So if you are a natural creation, you black women are a natural. You black men are a natural manifestation, not an artificial creation. Because I explained the difference between them, but I'll do it again. A natural manifestation is like the seeds in the earth wasn't planted; it was just there. You were always here. You don't have a start date or a beginning. You have a natural intelligence that's already implanted in you. You're not part of an artificial creation. You don't have a start date. You are a natural manifestation, meaning that you are a force of nature. Nature forced the black woman and the black man forward. That's why your hair looks like that. That comes from a rising. Rise. Anything that grows rises. Your hair rises. Your carbon in your skin is actually rising. Take a look at it. It's glowing. Pay attention. You're looking at a rising. Constantly in a state of rising, which they try to bring you down to a certain level. I said the word submental. They think that they mean subconscious. Yeah, that's how they introduce certain ideas and things to you on a lower level, but your mind has to first be on a subconscious or submental level to receive it. So therefore, if they can submit things and ideas to you in a subconscious or a submental state, that means that there has to be a higher mental state that you're not connecting to in order to see that. There has to be a reason why they try to get you to understand something. You understand? Instead of having an ultra standing of the complete comprehension to see everything that's around you, to see what's being done. There has to be a reason for that. These are not plays on words. This is real. This is real knowledge that's being given right now through the knowledge of Mentellect, which is higher intelligence, advanced ways of thinking. We have to understand, or should I say ultrastand, that the goal is to take control of the minds of our people always. First and foremost, it's not about no integration or none of this nonsense. The goal is to keep control of the minds of our people. Because if you have the control of the minds of people, especially the black woman, you can keep people in bondage forever. The goal is always to go after the mind of the woman. The black woman is always the first on the hit list. First on the hit list. How they go to the black woman first and foremost? Creating a split between the black man and black woman. Bidding us against you. Can't you go anywhere right now and you see hostility between the black man and black woman all the time? There's always a hostility there. Now you can say, because the black men did the black woman wrong or whatever thing she been through with the black man, but black men always been doing the wrong thing. So before, they was, I'm not saying always, but I'm saying, you always had black men and black women, at each other's throat going wrong, but there's just a strong disrespect and there's a separation like no other time before, and right now in this day and time. There's a strong separation for a reason. This is all taking place for a reason. Because if you can break apart natural intelligence, if you can separate the minds of naturally intelligent people, you break the power of those people. If I cut your brain in half, can it receive messages fully? No. That is the equivalent of breaking up the black man and black woman, actually cutting your brain in half. You understand? That's the equivalent. You both are counterparts of each other. You're not like everybody else. You can't be with everybody else. It doesn't fit. You try to make it fit, but it doesn't fit. See, the white man, he could be with the Asian woman. The Asian man could be with the white woman. The East Indian could be with the white woman. They all share the same origin. They all share the same origin of human creation. I said you are natural manifestations. You are not part of the human creation, so therefore you cannot be with them. It's not a natural match. How can you have a natural match with artificial people? People who carry artificial intelligence. You feel it. Even our people who laid with them, you feel a difference. And you're not going to deny that. You feel it like it's not real. You see it all the time. The black woman has levels of great thought etched in her brain already. But where is the outlet? She has no outlet for it. That's why she's miserable. She's around people and other women who are dragged down into that mental state of females, and she's looking for a way out where she can be a woman, where she can spread her wings and be powerful again. You can't do it in religion because you already suppressed in religion. You told your only purpose is to serve a man there. And all these stages of your existence here in this society and around the world for the last thousands of years, it was all based on suppression of your way of thinking, taking you out of your natural way of thinking, black women, taking you out of that state of intelligence, taking you out of that state of royalty and regalness, bringing you down. That's what it was all based on. And now you've been conned into believing that that is progressive. You think Rihanna is progressive. You think Nicki Minaj is progressive. You think garbage is progressive. Garbage mentality is progressive because if they put enough glitter on it, you start to believe that all that glitters is gold. You believe that. They can shine up a turd and tell you that it's something other than a turd, and you believe it. No more strong woman, no more intelligent woman, no more regal woman, no more royal woman. Only whorish, ignorant, sloppy, peonic, trashy females. That's what we getting. That's what our children, our daughters are turning into. That's what the black woman is being led in the direction of. This is the reality. You tell me, am I being too harsh? You tell me, am I telling the truth? Do you not feel that there's a natural encoding in the black woman they're working on erasing in the black woman? You are the last holdout. You really are the only holdout. You black women stand in the way of complete domination of women, of the female, so-called female or female race. You black women are the last holdout. They already got the white woman. They already got the East Indian woman. They already got the Chinese woman. They already got the whatever the other women. They already got them already. You were the last holdout. They working like hell on you. They perming your hair out, making you burn your hair out, put wigs on, lighten your skin. And what is that telling you? They altering your way of thinking. You can sleep with every man right now. What is that telling you? They're altering that womental being, that natural intelligence in you. I would hope you carry yourself like this song I'm about to play, my favorite, Star Unbreakable.
Thought that it would break me, take me off my course. Fell, picked it up, realigned with the source. Back on the horse like a diver. I'm a survivor, victor, picture perfect. Work it till it's short circuit. Think it, speak it, claim it, secret. Ancient cadence, murder, fragrance, ultraviolet. How I speak when I'm silent. Through my aura, borealis aurora. It's in the bloodline. Liquid sunshine, the heart. Know it and I'm doing my part. Sometimes it's switching a blink like a glitch in the link of a chain. Stay off it before I lose, I'm a forfeit. No bowing to the corporate, the devil's in the pulpit. Applaud this, flawless, spit gorgeous. Justice for the lawless, that real rawness. Unbreakable, can't block the flow. Won't take my soul. Oh, oh, no, no. Unbreakable, can't block the flow. Won't take my soul. Oh, oh, no, no. You talk reckless, but softer than the pearl necklace. We out of balance, let's correct it. Stay connected, we resurrectless. Then over on the next mission, the womb must be protected and respected, I say. No more victim, that's the mission. Deal with truth every day. Gotta make it over, that's the only way. Go against the grain, work through the pain to get joy. Something to hold on, earn a Lloyd. Survival of the fit, we intent, brethren. 7 steps to heaven, wafers unleavened, communion with the interstellar, ginger leather, shooting dice with Christ, looking for my Cinderella, Dana Dane flow, plain Jane no, punky rooster with the colorful mainframe glow, life been bananas, welfare and tannin, regardless, cry freedom if you really want it. unbreakable, can't block the flow, won't take my soul, oh, oh, no, no, unbreakable, can't block the flow, won't take my soul, oh, oh, no, no. Think about the timing while you planning and designing, strong under pressure, morphed into a diamond, shining brighter than some Twinkies on a hog, grinding, creeping through and seeping like a fog. Something inside of me, guiding me, keeps reminding me to rewind and see, no following blindly. The worst is behind me, every cell of my being responding to freedom. That's where it starts first, feeling DNA first, like a climax all through your body. Such a rush, tight, fast lane in Maserati. Kept my guard up in case they want to start stuff. Life it'll call bluffs even if you're all tough. Knock your block off, trying to get your rocks off. Turntables, cause we able to win. Unshakable, we rooted firm, breaking them in, breaking them in. Breaking unbreakable, can't block the flow, won't take my soul, oh, oh, no, no, unbreakable, can't block the flow, won't take my soul, oh, oh, no, no. Unbreakable, can't block the
I actually had a black woman tell me. I remember we were promoting this conference here in New York, the State of Mentell. Oh, speaking of promotions, we're doing the State of Mentell Black Evolutionary Mind Expressions here in New York City, Brooklyn, New York, at the Restoration Plaza, 1368 Fulton Street, between Brooklyn and New York Avenue, on February 25th, Saturday, February 25th, starting at 7 p.m. Those of you who are listening, there will be a $100 cash prize for the best spoken word artist. So, the State of Mentell wanted to get into the arts a little bit and, produce a Black Evolutionary Mind Expressions, event. We wanted to bring out the best and brightest in spoken word artists, even if, we're opening up for singers, nothing too big as far as with the singers, no bands or anything. Like, someone wants to come and strum the guitar or play a little keyboard or sing something. Want to be seen and be heard. That's what it's about, bringing out the talent, expressing your thoughts and your ideas and, blowing the minds of the people and, expanding our intelligence. So come on out, February 25th, Saturday, start 7 p.m. Admission is $10. We're going to have food there and things. So, come out and enjoy it. It's going to be a nice event. All State of Mentell events are nice events. Anyway, when we were promoting a conference, it was called A New Message to the Black Woman. And in this, we talked about elevating the black woman and uplifting the black woman and putting the black woman on a pedestal. Do you know black women gave us a problem with that? Can you believe that? I had one black woman tell us, she said, she read the flyer, it was talking about elevating the black woman and things like that, and, bringing our black women back up. And she said, oh, this is just so cliche. And I was like, what's cliche about it? It didn't even seem like she knew what cliche meant, but she goes, oh, this is just so cliche. We're all the same. I said, wow, we're all the same. Heard that a few times. From black women. Wow. But then you turn around and say black men are disrespectful to black women. So we were trying to elevate the image and the mindset of the black woman and the new message to the black woman, but you turned your nose up at that. That is only possible. And when she said we all the same, this is a cliche and blah, 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 and we all the same and this and the third, I said that, her mind's been altered. The black woman's mind has been altered. There is no more regalness in there anymore. She wasn't even polite to us. We came to her very nice, very well dressed, very nice. Hey, how you doing, sister, and whatnot. Her mind has been altered. The black woman has become a black female. Her mind has been altered. The strong, intelligent, regal, and royal woman is out the door. She's been supplanted mentally. Those grooves in her mind or in her brain, I should say, those compartments, those nerve endings, and those, when your mind is around your brain, when that mental energy is around your brain and that magnetic force field is pulling in thoughts, it's actually expanding different passages in your brain. It's expanding it. It's expanding different passages and different nerve endings and things, like opening up different centers in your brain. When that intelligence comes, when that light intelligence comes, that mental power comes to you, when you start to receive intelligence from on high, you start to see actual expansions in your brain. That's why they'll say, you ever notice when they said that, they look back at the so-called prehistoric men, or the people old, and they said their brains were smaller, and now our brains are getting bigger. That's because intelligence is coming in, or higher intelligence is coming in via light or via intelligence through the mind, and it's expanding the brain. Because a lot of our people thought that the brain and the mind was the same thing, but it's actually not. The brain is the physical receiver of the light or that mental power that is pulling that magnetic force field that's around the brain, that's pulling in intelligence. So the mind is actually like a magnetic force field that's pulling in intelligence to the brain, and it is expanding the centers and the nerve endings and the neurotransmitters in the centers of the brain in order for you to do things on a higher level, to think on a higher level, expand your level of thinking. But that is being, again, supplanted in the black woman, and it's simplifying her thoughts. Because your brains are actually supposed to be growing faster than anyone's on the planet, black woman, even the black man. Your brain is supposed to be growing faster than everybody. You are the primary receiver of higher intelligence, not us. You are. Because you are shouldered with the burden of raising children. So you're already naturally, a lot of times, let's be for real, a lot of times the black man, those who stay, the black woman actually has to focus on the family. Because a lot of black women are doing it alone, where she's raising children alone. So now she's not focusing on herself. She's focusing on other people that she's responsible for. And once you are forced to focus on other people that you're responsible for, it expands your way of thinking. So now your mind or your brain is being expanded to include other people. Whereas sometimes the black man, when he doesn't take on responsibility, what ends up happening is he only thinks of himself. His brain stays limited. His ways of thinking stay limited. But when you are forced to take on, that's why I said, when a black man becomes greater, he becomes a leader. He needs, his mind is expanding. The creator or that higher intelligence is expanding because he has to think about more people. He no longer can just think about himself. There's more people in the equation now. I said the perfect way when black women, when black men are talking about polygamy, the perfect way to shut that down or to see if he'll rise to the occasion is you tell a black man, because that's implanted in his mind frame to polygamy. But we'll get to that another time. I just want to say this on the polygamy thing because we don't hold that for another show, another broadcast. When the black man is talking about polygamy like that, you tell a black man, sure, okay, we can do polygamy, but you have to take care of every wife you bring in a way where we accustomed to being taken care of. You have to be a provider, earner, which means none of us should have to go out and work. You should be able to take care of all of us and the children you make with us. Now, are you responsible enough to do that? Now, if the black man could rise to the occasion of that, then he becomes a greater black man. Because now he's an earner. He should become a millionaire now. And he becomes a, greater father, and he becomes more intelligent because he has more to focus on. He's responsible. He has to be responsible now. That's either going to make him rise to the occasion and take you up on it, or it's going to make him run away because all he really wanted to do it for was sex. You understand? Take him up on it. Just tell him that. Put that on the table and see what he say after that. That'll tell you how serious he is about it, because the majority of them are not serious about it. It's just about sex, because the black man has been reduced to a male in this society. No more black men. They've been reduced to males in this society, little boys who are anatomically correct and who are just focusing on their anatomy and they're not focused on the mentality, following their anatomy around. Same thing with the women. Females, not women. Not strong, regal women. You have the actual blueprint in your brains, black woman, to change the world. You can change the world. It's already encoded in your brains. The answer, the key to change of the world is in the brain of the black woman. She knows why. You know how you know that? I'm going to prove it. Because all change, all structure, the way this planet is designed, it's structured on order. It's structured on a natural order or a natural procession, right? Now, if it's structured the way the planet, rotates around the sun, and the way everything is done, how the planet orbits and things like that, and how the sun, the planet is not falling into the sun and things like that. There's a certain order in the system that this whole thing is based on, right? That was built by a higher intelligent beings, which we descend from. Now, if you are the descendants of those higher intelligent beings, as looking different from everybody on the planet, which obviously makes you the odd person out in the society, black man and black woman. So obviously you have to be a descendant of those extraterrestrial beings walking the planet because you don't look like everybody else. Obviously that makes you the odd people out. Then that means that the woman who gave birth to those children and those beings and whatnot, who helped in crafting and shaping the human race, she has the answer still lodged in her brain. She can still receive that higher intelligence because your manifestation is based on higher intelligence. Your manifestation here is based on higher intelligence. It's based on order. How you're built is based on order. The black woman was built perfectly. Hold children, walk a certain way. Everything was based in order. Everybody else in the human race, they're thrown out of order. No hips, no behind. Everything's thrown out of order. Artificial, you could tell it was just thrown together. You look at the human race. You look at the white man, the East Indian, the Asian, all these people. You could tell they're just thrown together. That's why they have so many diseases and things and genetic defects, because they're thrown together. That's what happens when you create something. There's mistakes. The human race was a mistake. I said that we, so-called black people, we are not a part of the human race. We are a totally separate species. And I wrote a book on it. And it'll be out. And I'm proving it. I don't just jump off the top of my head and just say things. I don't do that. I write things and I prove it. We are the almond race. We are the almond beings. We're not part of the human race. That's why you are pushed out of society. That's why you're considered an outcast amongst the human race. Why there's really racism, because you're not part of the human race. It has nothing to do with your color. It has nothing to do with your complexion. Because why they accept the East Indians if that's the case? You black women, you're not a part of the female species. They're trying to make you a part of it, and you want to be accepted because you've lost your way. You've lost your mental connection, and you've fallen into a sub-mental connection along with all these other people, and you're wondering why you don't fit in. You're wondering why they don't accept you. You're wondering why your mentality doesn't fit in with everybody else's, why they think you're the loudest, the boisterous, why you, whenever you come on the scene, everybody, you can feel it. They get intimidated, like, oh, then you got to start acting a certain kind of way. You got to soften your voice, black woman. You got to start laughing at jokes that's not funny. You got to start talking in some way. You got to say things like, cool. That's neat. You got to start talking like that. Whenever somebody says something against white people, you got to act like you uncomfortable. You understand that? That's the reality. You're not being who you are, who you're supposed to be. See, everybody else, they just here, they're being who they're supposed to be, artificial beings. They're being who they're supposed to be. You're not being who you're supposed to be. That's the problem. What happens when that natural being and those natural beings are not being who they're supposed to be? Compression. Depression. The black woman is not happy because she can't be who she really wants to be. That's why you're depressed and compressed. You suffer. You suffer mentally. because you are disconnected from that higher mental state. But you have accepted that, like I said, you're nothing because you've had that bred into you. Even when you tell a black woman, you come from queens and goddesses and things like that, the black woman don't really believe it. She don't really accept it. I don't mean to say the word believe. She don't really accept it because she has to go through this brainwashing every day of Nicki Minaj and Beyonce trying to act like white women because they're getting paid to act like that because they want to be part of that world. They want to be part of that submental world of creation. They want to be part of that. So the black woman don't think there's nothing beyond that because you see that. But it is up to you and the black man to bring that about, to bring the doors open for a new world to come through. Because this one is going to fall away because all false things fall away, but then it has to be replaced by something. We keeping this world going. You keeping the submental state going by not being who you are, black woman, by not being that womental being. You are the only womental being on the planet. You're the only being or the mental being or the female or woman being that is connected to the mental state. You are the only one. Everybody else is not. You are the only one that's in tune. You're the only woman, female, woman, whatever, of the species on this planet that's in tune with that mental state, with that higher intelligence. You're the only one. None of these other women are. Like I said, that's why you the one that got the strongest belief in God and the higher power, black one. Why is that? They try to convert it into religion, but it wasn't even about God and all that. You had belief, in a higher existence, and that was already bred in you to know, not believe, but to know that there was something beyond you, something higher than you, that you were connected to something higher. You already knew that. Then they like I said, they chopped it down into religion, and this is what you got. They got you worshiping white Jesus and things like that, just like you worship the image of these people right now. That's the whole point of it. To water down your intelligence. You took Nefertiti, you took Queen Nzinga, you took Queen T, and you brought out Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, and Mary J. Blige. You understand that? That's what you brought out. That's what's been offered. Your seat of power and who you are, those grooves in your mind and your brain, I should say, have been altered. Those impressions of who you are being erased. You ever see that movie, what's that, Spotless Mind, that movie with Jim Carrey? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind or whatever it's called. I took a look at a little bits and pieces of it because Sister recommended it to me, and it talked about erasing your memory and erasing unpleasant events from your memory. Now, the Nation of Islam, they're taking part in this thing of Dianetics, right? I'm not getting at them. I'm not going to take no shots at the nation. I'm just talking about the Dianetics. One of the things they're advocating the Dianetics is these machines that supposedly erase certain unpleasant things of your memory in order and fears in you to make you move strong and move forward ahead or something of that nature. If I'm wrong, and excuse me, but this is what they say the Dianetics is supposed to do, right? Erase unpleasant memories in your mind, and so you can move forward and deal with your your thoughts and whatever, right? Now, there's only one problem with that. If I erase things like slavery, mistreatment, racism in this society, what happens? Am I not creating an artificial being? If I erase the things that happened to me in the society, if I was like, just forget about it. See, because they couldn't make black people forget about slavery. They couldn't make black people forget about the things that happened here because we still carrying the scars of it. We still pissed off about it, but they couldn't erase it. So now in comes the Dianetic thing. And we're talking about erasing unpleasant memories. They're talking about erasing certain things out of your memory in order for you to move on in life and be better in life. This is what they're talking about in the Dianetic. All right? But don't you understand that if you erase certain things, like I said, you create an artificial being. It's like cleaning up somebody's genetics, like what the white man tries to do with his scientists and the DNA, trying to clean up the genetics of the human race. They're trying to clean up your memories because they want to create a artificial, robotic people. That's the whole point. Mindless people. If your impressions in your brain, the things that happen, the impressions in your brain created who you were. So if you take them away, you take away those things that happen to you, whether they're good or bad or whatever, you take them away, then you take away the essence of who you are, the steps to where you had to go through to become who you were. You take that out. You altering it out. That's real. You altering out your steps in becoming who you are. You went through these things for a reason. Whether you sisters was raped, whether you were abused, whatever happened to you, it made you who you were. Whether you persevered and went beyond that, you understand? You went through that for a reason, to get you to a certain thing. Sometimes we go through unpleasant things in life in order to get us to a higher state. But if I erase that, then you erase my purpose for being it. You erase my thoughts. You take away my thoughts and things I went through, then I'm just walking around just like pretty much everybody else in the society now. No real purpose, no real reason for being here. Because it was a time where the black woman knew in her mind what her purpose was for being here. She don't know no more. She don't. The black woman knew her purpose for being here. Whether she felt it was to serve God or a higher power or something, she didn't know totally, but she knew her purpose was here to bring out, be the best she could be, raise good children, and, continue that progeny of greatness, and trying to build back up that greatness and raise great people, you understand, and advance our people. But now she don't really have no purpose for being here. The female has no purpose for being here. She's just like any other female. They have no purpose for being here. I'll give you one better. Was a time with a black man, he looked at you and thought of the black woman as royalty in the 60s and the 70s. Remember what he used to do? He used to look at the white woman as the jump off. He was like, oh, the white woman or these other women, they do everything. You go to the white woman for the jump off. Now he look at the black woman that way. Because he knew the black woman back then, she wasn't just jumping down in bed with everybody. She wasn't going to do everything. But now the black woman's mind has been altered. Now she do everything. So she no different than anybody else. So now since the black man think that you ain't no different than anybody else and you giving off that mentality, what happens? He treats you like everybody else. So he don't have to be with you no more because he can be with another woman because you just like everybody else. You ain't his sister no more. That's the mentality you got. That was erased from your mentality. You don't have no link to the black man no more. You wearing your hair, he got his hair in the natural, he got his hair cut low now because he ashamed of wearing his hair natural or having any length on his hair. He got his hair natural, and you got your hair standing next to him in a perm. Because you trying to look like Beyonce or some white woman and whatnot because you don't like how your natural hair is. So he ain't got no link to you no more. He trying to be who he is. You trying to be somebody else. You trying to be in the image of somebody else. All right? And then when he goes off and get a white woman or some other kind of woman, you go, why he being with that white woman? Why you don't want to be with his own natural sisters? Because you ain't his sister no more. Because you just like everybody else. Because you think like everybody else. So he might as well just got it. Ain't no tie to you. That's being done purposely. These black women who get on the little pedestal, become doctors or wherever they become, and the black man says, hey, sister, how you doing? I ain't your sister. Don't call me your sister. Then they start talking like the white man, like in that Tyler Perry movie. That's so typical. Daddy's Little Girls, Gabrielle Union came out. I ain't your sister. That's just so typical. And that was Tyler Perry hit that right on the head with the black woman now, because that's the mentality that's implanted in her. She got the mindset of an artificial being now. She's just like everybody else. You understand? But she's working with an attitude now. She's just like everybody else. So it don't matter if the black man with you no more, because you ain't a black woman no more. You just another female. Your mental state has been erased. You're just like all these other women. There's no difference between Rihanna and Katy Perry. Okay? There's no difference between Beyonce and Lady Gaga. Same people, just different lighter and darker shades. That's what they're trying to create here. They're erasing your mental state, black woman, because you're the only one that possess one. Everybody else, like I said, they just open airheads. They're open airheads. Their minds are open for every and anything. What the hell was Lady Gaga doing before she got her contract? You already know what she was doing. You understand? What was all these women doing before they got their contracts and things like these white women and then some of you black women? Because y'all got the mentality of white women. You talk like them. You act like them. And they put these women on TV because they want you to influence another generation of black women. That's what the whole point of doing that is. They want a level playing field of women who are the same. They want you black women to be soulless. They don't want no more Aretha Franklins. They don't want no more Felicia Rashads on TV. You understand that? They don't want that. They don't want any more black women in this society. They want black females. They want females. Females of color. That's what they want. That's the mentality they're trying to produce. And a lot of you black women are buying into it. Y'all buying into it. Even you black women with this natural hair, because not even the natural hair, you know, I thought that would have stopped them. A lot of you black women, y'all go from natural hair, it's just a hairstyle. It don't mean nothing. A lot of you black women that was in the so-called conscious community, now you with the white man and whatnot. A lot of y'all done sold out. Y'all done adopted that mentality, this we are the world mentality. We all together in this. We all in this together mentality. But that's not real. That's not real. You Negroes in Hollywood, y'all still gotta beg the white man for money to make movies like some black person begging for welfare. You still gotta beg the white man. It's no different. You understand? It is no different. Where is the next step to this? Where is this going? Creating a people with artificial intelligence. Man-made intelligence, people who are no longer linked to the higher source. The white man wants that part. He wants to be linked to the higher source. He wants to bring out the new technologies. You see who's really linked to the mind of God. You black women ain't linked to no mind of God. You linked to the minds of men. You black men are not linked to the mind of God, your higher self. You black women are not linked to your higher self. You linked to your submental. And in that submental basement is these false philosophies and ideologies and artificial ways of thinking that they indoctrinating into you, where you walk around talking about, oh, this is cool. This is just great. I could be with anybody. When I sat there and I listened to this female talk like this, you know, I was just like, you know, and she was just going into me. She was laying into me, talking about, you know, I'm not progressive and things like that. And I was like, you know what? You sound just like a whole bunch of other black women that's coming out. So that proved to me that this is a procession. This is a processing that's going on. This is a processing that's going on. You understand? This is a process. This is a process of taking a black mental being, the only mental female, the only mental woman on the planet, the strongest mental being on the planet, your black woman, and turning her into a female, a non-thinking female. That's the whole point. That was the whole point of this. And it's incredible. Our people are falling for it. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? You tell me. Do you see where, when I said our people, because I like to draw clear lines, do you see why I say the black woman was always different from everyone else, that she had her own natural form of thinking? That she had her own natural form of thinking? You can see that in the black woman. You can see that she had her own natural form of thinking, and that's been altered. You can see it all over the place. Where are the last holdouts? Where is this thing going? The first step was getting you to perm your hair, hate your hair. That was the first step. The second step was getting you to dress and act like them and talk like them. So it's an ongoing thing to alter your way of thinking. It's ongoing. You're not going to be able to recognize our people in the next 50 years. We're not going to be able to recognize our people if we don't break away from this, the intelligent ones of our people. We're not going to recognize our people. Our people are dying. First way you kill a people is mentally. And our people are dying mentally. The black woman, forget about it. A lot of you are dying mentally. A lot of you, like I said, y'all bought into this artificial way of thinking. And then what's sad about it is when you black women, a lot of you black women, y'all act as agents for the beast, because when y'all don't, when say a sister says, like if you notice, when a sister says, I want to be with a black man, she have a friend that want to be with everybody. She want to be the UN dating center. When you got the black woman who want to be the UN dating center, she tries to make the black woman who want to still be with the black man feel bad about that. Oh, why you still want to be with the black man? Open up your options. This is the mentality they push it. She's an agent. And she don't even know it. She's an unknowing, unpaid agent to push this artificial mentality on our people. Why you still want to be with the black man? We ain't gotta be tied to them. That's the mentality. Alter the genetics. Alter the ways of thinking. Erase the mentality. Eternal sunshine of a spotless mind into machines to erase all the impressions in your mind to create a certain artificial being that you can manipulate. That's the whole point of this. Manipulating you. You understand? Because if I control the natural people on the planet, I have a natural resource that I can control the world with. You are the greatest natural resource, black woman, black man, because you're the only natural beings walking the planet. Everybody else, as I said, is artificial. Factual. Mentellect. Questions. Comments. Thoughts. This is our broadcast. I'm celebrating State of Mentell Radio. And we're going to have greater things. I'm going to start doing 3 shows a night. But it's not going to all be dropping knowledge. We're going to be talking about relationships, the higher intelligence of relationships. We're going to be talking about the games that, our people, the men play that we got to get away from. We're going to talk about advancing our relationships, advancing our ways of thinking, our money, our financial matters, the evolution. We're going to have financial Fridays. We're going to just talk about and get rid of all the illusions about making money amongst our people, because we have to come together. The intelligent ones of our people. I'm going to be the lightning rod and the advocate of it. And I've had, unfortunately, I've had people who's supposed to be so pro-black that's against what I'm trying to do. And that tripped me out. That tripped me out. It's really letting me know that the majority of our people, and it's starting to be real now, when you get down to the nitty-gritty of it and you cut through all the black talk, you start and you look at the intelligence, you look beyond the skin and you look at the intelligence of our people, you start to see that who's who amongst us. When you cut through all of the dark skin and all the talk and all the black power, you start to see who's really a part of this evolution and who is not. And based on that, we have to separate from amongst our own people in order for a new generation to come about, in order to breed a new generation of those intelligent, strong, regal, and royal beings again. That has to happen. That's what I'm living for. We are going through changes in the society. I said the past is the past is not the future. So a lot of our people are stuck in religion, stuck in these ways of thinking, these limited ways of thinking. You understand? Stuck in these artificial ways of thinking. You better come into the future. State of Mentell is about the future. Future Intelligence Organization. That's all we're dealing with. We're not interested in the past. You go anywhere and hear people talk about and talk about the past. The past doesn't happen. It's gone. It's over. It's done. You can talk about it 50,000 ways and whatnot, but we don't live in the past. We're trying to live in the future, in the present future, meaning we got our feet in the present and walking into the future constantly. We're not walking in circles anymore. We're not walking in circles of insanity. We're not walking in squares of infinity. We're walking on lines walking on lines from here to eternity right now. We're not limiting ourselves anymore. That's what the State of Mentell is about. I'm so glad that brother called me and told me that he wanted to go. He's going to go and be a lawyer. Brother, like I said, I apologize. I can't think of your name now. And like I said, I'll find it and think about it. Like I said, I should have wrote it down. I believe it's Jermaine. I'm sorry if I messed up your name. I apologize. But I thank you for listening. Yes, I thank you for listening. I thank you for, going to be the best you can be and taking charge of your life. And the sister, too, for y'all who are influenced by my words, that's what I'm here for, to spread the higher intelligence to my people, for you all to come up in the world and, and be the true leaders of tomorrow that you're supposed to be. I think about them. I think about you all, the future. I don't think just about myself, because I'm not going to be here forever. You understand? I'm gonna check out of here. I'll check out of here. Time go fast just like that. So you gotta think about the future. I want to think about my babies. I want to think about who they're gonna marry, what children they're gonna bring forward. See, our people don't think like that. They live day by day. Then they wonder why they get trapped every day, because they live day by day. I made the analogy to a friend of mine. I said, the more we look into the future, the smaller the past becomes. The more we look, it's like looking at if you focus your magnifying glass on somebody's foot as a problem. I'm using the foot as a problem. You focus your magnifying glass on a person's foot. That more you focus the magnifying glass on somebody's foot, the foot becomes bigger. But the more you pull it back to see the bigger picture in front of that magnifying glass, the foot becomes smaller. That's the same way our problems should be in the world. We should be looking at the bigger picture, looking at the future, looking at what's in front of us instead of what's behind us. That's the only way we're going to get beyond it. Okay? That's the only way the black woman is going to get to where she's supposed to be, by having conversations like this. By having conversations like this. By listening to broadcasts like this that's dealing with the intelligence of our people today. We're not going to get nowhere talking about some Quran or no Bible or some African dancing or some kill a white man, because ain't nobody going to do any of that, and none of that stuff matters. So all that's a bunch of nonsense. You understand? We're not going to get anywhere talking about that. That's a waste of energy and time. We should be talking about the real things that are taking place, coming up with intelligent solutions and coming together as a new family. Because intelligence is in abundance, and we're supposed to be receivers of that higher intelligence. We're not supposed to stop at receiving some old books, and that's it. That's where man wants to limit himself. We're not limiting ourselves anymore. If you truly believe or accept that you are gods and goddesses, then you will not limit your intelligence. The state of Mentell was not put together to limit the intelligence of our people. It was put together to expand the intelligence of our people beyond where people think we're supposed to be. We're going to exceed everyone's expectations of us as mentalists. We're going to exceed that. Now, if you people in religion, you believers, got a problem with that, oh well, because you part of the problem. You believers. This is for thinkers. God's true people are thinkers, not believers. Believers follow men. Thinkers follow God. I'm going to end this show out. It's been a good show. I'm glad y'all made the broadcast easy for me. I thank the sister for calling in, Shanette from Georgia. It's been like I said, a good first broadcast for State of Mentell Radio. We're going to be doing more broadcasts as time go on. I said we're going to do something on Wednesday and something on Friday. 3 shows a week, different topics and whatnot, money, relationships, everything on a higher intelligent level. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares, and this is State of Mentell Radio. Okay? Black mental beings, sisters come together mentally, brothers come together mentally. Let's raise this new family. Beautiful tomorrow, Blue 6. Good night.